Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and this is going to be the pro qualifying walkthrough for the Stateside Classics tournament. So, this is the first tournament that's come out since the wind changes are taking place, and I think it's an excellent addition to the game, to be honest. I'm really glad that we get to think on the fly now, that we, get to play people who are on our same level. So I think with that, it's going to push us to get better. By having better people in my brackets, it's going to make me become a better player, right? But the biggest thing is there's going to be a lot of ties going on. So it's going to be really important that we do the best that we can in each round and make sure that we have the best scenario for a tiebreaker score. So for everybody who's watching this right now, let me give you some reasons to follow me on Pro. One, I'm doing it for free. So other people who stream have already announced they're raising their membership prices. And outside of qualifying, if you want help on round 2 or round 3, it looks like you're going to have to pay for it. For me, I'm going to do every single round, just like I'm doing right now, for free for everybody to see on YouTube. The only thing I ask is for donations. My workload has increased by having to do this round to round to round, and I promise you, if you watch me, I'm going to set you up as good as possible to win the tournament, and here's why. One, I'm going to release a video for each round. So if you're patient, just wait to play after I do. Here's the advantage for you. You're going to see the shots I make, and you're going to see the shots I miss. You're also going to see what the wind angle is. And for every shot that I make or miss, we're going to talk through what went well, what didn't go well. That way, when you play your turn, you're going to have a significant advantage already watching me play. So therefore, I would expect a lot of people that are watching me to shoot better than me. At least that's my goal for everybody. I want to set everybody up for tremendous success and try to win every single tournament. And I think if we do this together with that path, it's going to pan out. But again, you just got to be patient. You got to wait for me to play. And my goal is to give everybody 24 hours in order to complete your round. So, I'm getting this video out on Monday. This is going to give you more than 48 hours to qualify. And I've got a lot of really good content in here. For the next round, I'm going to try to get my video up, no later than Thursday evening. That way you have more than 24 hours to complete your round. So, don't hop right into it. Don't play blind unless you're confident in that. Let me take all the practice shots for you, and then you go out and do better than me. But let's talk about qualifying. I'm confident enough in this walkthrough to get you to the top of your standings. You see here, minus 14 is leading the bracket. And, I expect that on day one. But let's go ahead and hop right into the replays, everybody. Do me a favor, though. Please subscribe. Please help me get to 1,600 subscribers on this tournament. Please hit the like button. And if you like my content, if you understand, how much extra work I'm putting in, please donate to my channel. It would be so much appreciated. And I put the link to my PayPal in the comments section of every tournament. If you don't have PayPal, but you're looking for other ways to, help support me, then just leave me a comment. I'll get right back with you. Okay, photos, here we go. Pro tournament, hole number 1. Now, no matter the wind angle, okay, I don't care if we're getting, headwind, tailwind, no matter what, we need to eagle this hole to win the tournament. And your drive is always going to be played 20% elevation. In this case, because we're getting a little bit of a headwind, we're going to be using this little indent of the fairway here to go fairway to fairway. And you'll see in here, I'm using just a little bit of overpower, okay, and about 75% right curl. This is really the screen angle that you're looking for. This is how you know you're going to have an excellent drive, and you power this ball really high up on the fairway here. Now, if you hit the ball like this, you're going to play this next shot with a wedge at 0% elevation, okay? If you hit a great shot or you don't catch a good roll like I did, you're going to be further down on the fairway. You would play that shot minus 10% elevation with a thorn, and I'll show you both, okay? So here's the shot that I just got. So again, I'm high up on the fairway. I'm going to play with my end bringer here with no elevation. Of course, max top spin, aiming right into the hole. You hit a perfect ball, and this ball's going to go in 100% of the time. Easy, dead center. Now, in this situation, I didn't catch as good enough of a roll, and I hit a great shot. So now I'm at minimum distance with my thorn. I thought about taking the shot with my end-bringer at max distance, but it's not a good situation here in headwind. So you're going to see me change my mind and take the smart play and go with the thorn at absolute dead minimum, which is nice. I use quite a bit of backspin, but I do make sure that my ball guideline has a good tail through the hole and beyond the cup. That way this headwind doesn't knock our ball down and we fall short, which is very easy to do when you're talking about a backspin shot with a thorn. But regardless, you know, we do hit this ball dead perfect, and you're going to see here we get a very good roll, dead center of the pin. There's two different shots on hole number one. Obviously, I have two pro accounts. Everybody knows that who follows me. So we're starting off an eagle with both my pro accounts. Now, hole number two is a hole I'm very comfortable with because you get it all the time in Tour 8 shootouts. I always play at 10%, and I always play at absolute minimum of my sniper numbers, okay? In this case, I'm just using enough backspin, which is about 5.2, combined with a little bit of right side spin. And I want you to notice something on this hole that a lot of people don't know, is when you set your spin correctly, I want you to watch me wiggle my club around here. Notice how I wiggle it around right there, and my ball guide didn't move at all? That's a really good sticky spot on this green. Look at this. I'm aiming dead center of the cup. And again, 10% elevation at absolute minimum distance of my sniper was 4.2 rings. And we're able to sneak that ball into the cup. All right, so hole in one, a little fluky getting it on the bounce. But either way, that is a very good landing position. It is the correct elevation, and it is the correct minimum distance of our sniper. So that'll get you really close, if not a hole in one on hole number two. Now we hop into hole number three. Now, hole number three, you're going to have to be a little bit careful, okay? There's a couple ways you can play hole number three. You could launch the ball from fairway to fairway if you wanted to. There's really no risk in that because even if you hit the rough and you use like a power 5 ball like a berserker, you're going to have no problem getting to the green in two. The only thing I don't like about doing it on qualifying is I would consider it we're wasting a berserker because we would really want to do that in the old school tournament fashion where we could dial in shot number two with like a grizzly or a Goliath, but we're not going to get that. So I'm just going to use a Titan ball. And I'm going to play this one right over the trees. And what we want to do is use a little bit of backspin here. So about 3 bars of backspin with max left side spin. I'm just stretching my club till I see a ball guide line that's fully developed. And then I adjust here at 10%. And as you can see here, I'm using a lot of overpower combined with a lot of left curl. Because we're using that 3 bars of backspin, you're not going to worry about rolling too far from the fairway to the rough. It really knocks our ball down really well. You still see there we have plenty of fairway left to work over. So you could go less overpower if you wanted to, but that's a really good way to approach this drive. Now this shot is uphill, so we're playing at minus 10% elevation. You want to make sure that you pack your most powerful wood club. You can use your cat, you can use your big dog. It really doesn't matter. They're both 180 power. So it's just whichever club, you know, you're most comfortable using. In this situation, I aimed at the hole, trying to get greedy, seeing if I could get an albatross. I don't want you to do that, and you're going to see why here. That ball almost hit that fringe area and would have bounced backwards into the rough. Here's what I'm talking about. I think this is really important for you to see. Right here, right there. It could have easily came in lower on that slope and bounced into the sand, and then we'd have been in trouble. So what I want you to do is I want you to play this shot here way more to the right-hand side of the green. Kind of see where my opponent's avatar is. we should be aiming somewhere over there and just let the ball fall down the slope and just take this one for an eagle, okay? Don't get greedy and screw up this hole. Okay, hole number 4, I'm going to show you 2 different ways to play it and 2 different elevations. This way I'm playing 10% at minimum distance of my sniper. Take a look at my spin adjustments here and where I'm trying to offset this shot. I'm coming in high of the pin. So notice there I come in pin high. And save time, you don't need to see the adjustment. It's minimum distance. I'm using 10% on this shot. We hit a perfect ball. And even though I aimed pin high, we still came in, you know, almost 2 full green squares short. So you need to offset that ball further up. Or you can try for this shot. This shot is super dangerous. I do not suggest it. Because look, we have like no wiggle room here. We're at minimum distance of our sniper. And I've really got no breathing room, but I just wanted to see if I could sneak it into the hole. And with the with the headwind that we're getting, I added 5% elevation to it. So I'm actually playing this one 15% elevation, okay? I'm offsetting, as you can see here, to the left of Gin, and putting my tail of my ball guideline beyond the hole, just because of the headwind. Thank goodness we hit a perfect ball. You know, but you'll really see here not much better than the other shot, and obviously the other shot is way safer. So I would play the other shot, but I wanted to show you both ways that I tried to go at this one. Now, hole number 5 leaves us with a great chance for an eagle, and I'll show you a couple shots to pin. But the drive is 10%. I like using a kingmaker here just to reduce the wind on the second shot. And I'm using, you know, 2 bars of right side spin combined with about 1.5 bars of top spin. And I'm really just aiming this one down the middle of the fairway. I pushed my rings again instead of pull. I'm using a little bit of right curl just to make sure that we get, you know, in the middle of this fairway. This is a really good drive, okay? You know, I'll be happy with this every single time, no matter what wind that we're getting in the next rounds. Now we go into shot number 2. Shot number 2, I'm playing this one 20% elevation, okay? This one plays a little bit different than the elevation we're using in rookie. Whereas in my rookie walkthrough, you know, I dropped this shot twice on both my accounts. So 2 for 2. Here you see I'm using 2 bars of backspin, and I'm using absolutely no side spin, okay? Let's take a look here at where I'm aiming. So if we can see there, I'm aiming right almost in the middle of that dark green square right before the pin. And again, I'm using 20% elevation. For me, I'm mid-distance of my Goliath, and I prefer using the Goliath over the Grizzly. You know, the ring adjustment is so much smaller, and I don't care about the ball guideline in this situation. Just came in a little too hot. It was in the hole, and it hopped out of the hole, so I'm very comfortable with that shot. Now, you see here, this is my second attempt at it. Pretty much identical drive. This time, I decided to use a little bit more backspin, so I went 2.5 bars of backspin. You can see here, I'm using that dark green square for a reference point. So you see there the end of that ball guideline right in that dark green square. And the only thing I did this time is I aimed just a little bit too far left. Because you notice in shot number 1, I came in just on the right-hand side of the cup. So this time I tried to move over just a little bit to the left. And I guess because I use a little bit more backspin, you know, my ball calmed down a little bit more. And I come in just barely to the left-hand side. But you can see there, that's a very good shot. You just need to make a little bit of tweaks. You know, watch that replay a couple times on that last shot. You'll know exactly where to aim in that dark green square, just a fraction more to the right, and you got yourself a very, very big eagle. Okay, hole number 6 is going to be played at 20% elevation on our drive, and the goal here is to get up high on this fairway, okay, onto the right-hand side. So we do that with top spin. I use a little bit of left side spin here on the drive, as you can see. I just want that good ball guideline going down the right-hand side of the fairway. %20 elevation is my ring pull here. Get ourselves a perfect ball. Notice I don't use any curl. This is a pretty straightforward shot. And this is really the exact zone that we want to be. This is a perfect drive. That's going to leave us for shot number 2. Now, shot number 2, I want you to play 10% elevation at max distance of your sniper. And I want you to take a look at where we're aiming here. This is going to be very important. So notice I use a little bit of backspin, a little bit more than 3 bars, and just a little bit of left side spin. Now that left side spin is to counter the wind here. Okay? Notice, look at this. I'm aiming almost dead center of the pin, and I've got my ball guideline going right into the cup. This used to be a hole in Tour 6, and I don't know if it's still there or not, but whenever I first started the game, I spent thousands of games in a row on Tour 6, and I got really good at this shot. Now, of course, I wasn't using a Kingmaker, I was using a Navigator, but regardless, the way the green rolls, I've got pretty good at it. So, we sneak it in there for an albatross, and that's a really good pickup there because you're not going to see a lot of people albatross that hole. And there's hole number 6, okay? On to hole number 7. Hole number 7, I played this one with the quarterback at 0%, but I use max distance, even though I'm not at max distance. So you can go full right spin here, combined with enough top spin until you start to get this ball guideline developed. And the thing that you want to do is you want this ball to come up high onto that slope there, and then come back down towards the hole. You can see where I'm aiming. Let me back this up. Notice how I'm coming in pin high again. So I'm above the hole on this shot. We've had this hole in many tournaments. And sometimes on pro, you play it from the left-hand side. Sometimes you play it on the right-hand side. I went back and looked at some of my old shots. But we get pretty close. I just didn't come up high enough to get a fast enough roll back down towards the cup. And you would have seen there, it comes in pretty darn close. So that's a really good way to play this hole. Just try to get your tail to go further beyond the hole than I did. That way you have more speed towards the pin. There's a very safe approach for hole number 7. And then we go into hole number 8. Now, I'll tell you right now, hole number 8, I'm not playing for the eagle. I'm just taking the birdie. I'm playing both shots at 0% elevation. We're going just, quite a bit of top spin, max right side spin, and we're just going dead center down the fairway here. In most other tournaments, right, we would play shot number 2 with a guardian, and we would try to dial in the eagle. It's still a very difficult hole to eagle, even when you try to dial in with the guardian. But since we're going to get different wind in round 2 and round 3, there's no point to even really try to dial it in at this point. So there's that shot. And then shot number 2, I just use a sniper here. I just go full back spin, 1 bar right side spin. I just try to get it, down the slope here to where I have a pretty good tail on my ball guideline to pick up speed. And then I just try to use right curl at 0% elevation at minimum distance of my club and just try to get a lucky eagle, all right? That's really what I would be calling it at this point. Again, not an easy hole to pick up an eagle on, but we take it for an easy birdie, and you're not going to really see any opponents not birdie this hole. This is an automatic birdie as long as you execute your drive. Now, hole number 9 is one that a lot of people will not pick up an eagle on, but, I do believe we have a really good opportunity to do so. The drive is played at 10%. I know my graphic isn't there. It takes a lot of time to do that. So, but anyways, 10% on the drive. You saw there I used just a couple bars of top spin. You know, you could probably use 3 bars of top spin if you wanted to, but it doesn't really matter because shot number 2, again, you're going to be playing with your most powerful wood club. So, you know, we could have done more top spin and come up higher on the fairway, but regardless, it's going to leave us for a 0% elevation shot on shot number 2, full top spin, you know, about a bar of left side spin just to counter that wind. You pull your rings here again, no elevation. And for me, you know, I went ahead and decided to overpower this shot because we want to get some pretty good distance. But we don't want to use so much overpower that we risk getting ourselves into the rough. But you see here, no problem, plenty of room. And getting into that shadow area is a really good spot. This shot is downhill, all right? So play it downhill. 10% elevation on shot number 3. Now, you can see what I'm doing here. I am trying to figure out the distance of my club. I'm not at max, but I'm also not at mid. So let me explain to you what I do here instead of using a slider. So in this situation, I'm playing 10%. I'm playing a power 3 ball, and I've got 6.0 mile per hour wind. You see there that mid is 2.8 and max is 3.8. Well, I decided to play this one right in the middle, so I added 0.4 to my shot. So I'm going to play this one 3.2, which you're going to see here. So I played this one between mid and max numbers, so 3.2 rings. And we smack the pin and we drop that one for an eagle. So this is a very good walkthrough for everybody to follow. You know, if you use this combined with my makes and my misses, you'll be able to put together a very good round as long as you hit perfect. I hope you found this helpful. Please subscribe and please hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, everybody.